Interviewing stakeholders serves two essential functions. First, interviews will be important for information gathering, to better understand the policy problem, potential solutions, and the stakeholder landscape. Second, interviews themselves are an important part of stakeholder engagement. It is important that key stakeholders feel involved in the policy process from the earliest stages, as this will increase the likelihood of their support. Stakeholder interviews can be conducted any time in the policy development process. Interviews early in the policy development process are critical in guiding you to feasible policy options, both operationally and politically. They will help you understand what types of policy options stakeholders would support. Interviews later in the process, once your policy options are already developed, are also important. They can help build the coalitions needed to actually get your policy passed or help you craft your policy brief to better meet the needs of your audience. When interviewing stakeholders, you should assess the following. What do they already know about the issue, its implications, and its potential solutions? Are they aware of other stakeholders who should be considered? What resources can they identify that could be used to support potential solutions? How much influence do they have in committing those resources to implement a solution? And how motivated is this stakeholder to take action on this issue? You should interview as many stakeholders as possible, being strategic about who you reach out to and when. The stakeholder map will help you prioritize these interviews. Make sure you consult with stakeholders from various sectors and groups that could be affected by your policy in different ways. You will want to hear multiple points of view. And of course, it's critical to consider the voices of those who you expect to benefit from your policy, such as patients or other specific populations. You may not want to interview every stakeholder you identify, but you will want to carefully think through how to solicit different viewpoints. If you have limited time for stakeholder interviews, prioritize those who have real influence over the policy solutions, or those who could be mobilized to support change. For example, if the ultimate policy needs to be approved by the Ministry of Finance, be sure to talk to relevant people within that ministry. Remember that not all stakeholders will support a policy. Make sure to interview 1 to 2 stakeholders who you think will be opposed to your policy options. Their concerns and potential opposition should be considered when developing your options. Of course, you will need to be strategic in how you plan and conduct these sensitive interviews. While stakeholder interviews may be informal conversations rather than formal meetings, you should always ensure that you are well prepared. It's important to start by explaining your objectives and providing an introduction to your project and the policy options you are analyzing. You will want to develop specific questions targeted to different stakeholders. The interview guides we provide can serve as a starting point. Remember to keep the questions open-ended. This is a conversation to solicit information, ideas, and opinions, and you want stakeholders to leave the conversation feeling that their voices have been heard.